Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. In this lesson we're still continuing on creating the animations for our FPS controller, and I think in this lesson we'll create the player hit animation. Now, a word of warning, we'll be going over the same basics as we did in the last video, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing to keep going over the basics of animation creation. And as before, again, I'm going to create this animation very quickly, but I advise you to really spend a long time creating your animation to really make it look good. I will certainly tweak my animations at a later date off camera. Okay, with that said, here we are, we've selected the FPS controller, we're in the animation tab, and a little word of note, I have made a note of all these values here, my position and my rotation. And the reason for that is I want the animation to finish playing when the FPS controller is in the same position as when it started, and you'll see what I mean shortly. But let's go ahead and create our new animation, and this time we come here where it says player def, the last animation. We can click here, create new clip, and this time we'll just call it player get hit, and we'll just save that off there. And as you can see, it's automatically selected. I'm going to click here, reveal more time codes, and again I'm going to make mine 2 seconds long. Now, you may want to create a longer animation or even a shorter one. That's entirely up to you, whatever suits your project. I'm just going to make mine 2 seconds long because I think it's good for demonstration purposes at this moment. So with that said, let's come here to the half-second mark, and again I'm going to alter the position. So I'll move the FPS controller back and to the side a little bit, and I even think I'll move him up a little bit as well. And again we'll come to the 1 second mark, and we'll move the FPS controller back a bit, and yes, a little bit further on the Z axis, and let's hit play, see how that looks. Okay, I'll stop that there, and now I'll come to the 1.5 second mark, and I'll actually move the FPS controller forward at this point, and I think down a little bit, maybe a bit more across. And I'll come to the 2 second mark, and what I'm going to do in this is I'm going to input the starting values for the position. So in this case it was -100, a Y position of 2, and the Z position of -30, and that means now that the FPS controller should finish playing the animation in the same position it was here at 0 seconds. So let's hit play. Okay, I'll stop that there. We'll come to the game tab and we'll see how that looks. So we'll hit play. Now, if I stop that there and we come back, and this is when we need to tweak animations. I'll come back to the scene, and let's actually input a new time code somewhere around here, and I'll move him forward and down a bit. Let's see how that looks now. Well, that's a little bit better, but you know, you may want more serious reaction from the player when he gets hit. So let's move him a little bit, and we'll move him a bit further, and this is what I'll do now for quite a while. I'll go around and keep tweaking these values until I find a set of values that I'm happy with. And this is what I advise you to do. Keep tweaking until you find that point where the animation looks good. And please remember, you can always use this tool here if you want to also add some rotation to the animation. But let's hit play again. So as you can see, I'm happy with the animation at this point, but I think the animation is moving a little bit too smooth up till about this point here, the half-second mark. So we'll stop that there. And this is where I'm going to do most of my tweaking now, because this is where I am not happy with my animation. So, you know, this is a good reason to keep coming back to the game tab and hitting play until you find a set of values that work for you. But basically, we want the player to jolt and to make it seem like his head's moving around as his body's being moved by the impact. So, as I said, I'm going to continue on and keep tweaking this animation until I find a point where I'm happy with. But for now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to hit the record here to stop recording the animation. We'll come to the project tab. Now, I've already deleted the FPS controller that was created in the last lesson. We don't need that. Player get hit, I think it's already assigned as legacy, but we'll double check, and it is. So we'll switch back to normal. And then we just need to assign the animation. As you can see, it's already been added here, but if it hadn't, just increase the size here by 1 and then assign it. I'll get rid of play automatically and we'll assign the hit animation here. And we'll leave it here for this lesson. And in the next lesson, we'll be creating the tired animation. And as I said, in the meantime, please go ahead and find suitable audio clips for your project and assign those in the inspector as well. But as I said, we'll leave it here for this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time. And until then, bye for now.